Tier sets were made available this week on the PTR, and I had some questions. Guardian Druid was the first, and there were a few things I wanted to figure out. If you're interested in testing these for yourself, you can download the public test realm for free, and it doesn't require any prerequisites or granted access. If you decide to download it, you can head to Orgrimmar or Stormwind and talk to the vendors to pick up their tier sets, along with any other goodies like trinkets and some unique weapon effects. The Guardian Druid bonuses read as such. The 2-set bonus says, when you take damage, Mangle and Thrash damage and Rage generation are increased by 15% for 8 seconds, and you heal for 6% of damage taken over 8 seconds. Doing some quick math, 15% Rage generation increase on Thrash is like 3/4 of a Rage, so the first part of the 2-set bonus seems much more inclined towards Mangle Rage generation. Honestly, I don't think Guardian Druids have had an issue with Rage generation, especially in Mythic Plus. But nonetheless, I wanted to see what type of buff this was and how frequently it updated its tooltip. Since this only really can be procced while being struck by enemies, I needed to head to Zuldazar to face off against some of the tank training dummies. I know there are some in Valdrakken, but Zuldazar is just much more quiet. Furious Regeneration is what the buff is actually called, and it seems to update every 2 seconds. It's hard to tell when only being hit by one target though, but it will probably have 100% uptime. At least it does on single target, which is great news since that means Mangle and Thrash both will have increased damage. Personally, I don't really notice the Rage generation increase that much, which goes back to what I said before. Through talents like Blood Frenzy, Galactic Guardian, Soul of the Forest, Rage was really never an issue. At the time of writing and recording this, Mythic Plus testing is just not open yet, so there isn't really any way I can actually check this out, but hopefully in the near future. Shifting focus to the 4-set, the buff is actually called Indomitable Guardian. Similar to the 2-set bonus, it has 2 parts to it. It reads, Maul damage increased by 20%, and casting Iron Fur or Maul increases your maximum health by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking 5 times. The first thing that came to mind was that it wasn't going to be a refreshing buff, but an overlapping application buff similar to Iron Fur. I wanted to be sure that it actually refreshed, and lo and behold it does. Most people would probably assume, but you can never be sure with Blizzard. That means that you really don't have to think about either of these buffs either from the 2-set or the 4-set. Like, at all. As soon as you enter combat and start hitting your mitigation or procs of Tooth and Claw, you will quickly gain stacks up to 5, granting 15% maximum health. I don't know about you, but this is kind of insane, right? Guardian Druids already have some of the highest base health, and now they're gaining an additional 15% on top of that. My Guardian Druid is also only 413 item level. Mythic Raid Gear and Max Dungeon Vault rewards will be 441 plus. Having a beefy health pool isn't a make or break for any tank, but Guardian Druids have a nice little ability called Frenzied Regeneration, which heals them for 32% of their max health over 3 seconds. With other talents like Berserk Persistence and Reinvigoration, Guardian Druid players will benefit quite nicely from that flat health pool increase. Okay, is this tier set actually going to help Guardian Druids become a better tank? If you look at the larger scope of all the tank tier sets, this is easily one of the stronger ones. You're gaining damage increases where it matters with Mangle, Thrash, and Maul or Raise. You are also gaining 15% max health, which will, in theory, alleviate some of the potential one-shots, and the 2-set will heal you back for the portion of the damage that you took. There is still a ton of inherent flaws in the Guardian Druid kit though. Trying to compare Guardian Druid to other tanks, one example that I like to use is the spell Renewal being a 1.5 minute cooldown, while Warriors have Impending Victory, which is only a 25-second cooldown, but pretty much achieving the same goal. This tier set seems more like a temporary band-aid fix for an inevitable Guardian Druid rework, or at least a retuning. Now, will the tier set though change anything in our talent tree that we aren't already running? Luckily, the tier set covers so many bases that I can't really foresee anything major changing. Incarnation will still be a priority pick. The tier set does also affect Raise, which is great, and the bonus damage will then play into Ursoc's Fury. That's really the only major thing that comes to mind in terms of shifting builds, but without testing, it's really hard to tell. The issue with this is building into the left side of the tree requires you to drop things on the right side of the tree. Guardian Druids would have to drop a few powerful choices on the lower right side of the tree like Galactic Guardian and Scintillating Moonlight. And before I go into a long-winded rant, basically it's too early to tell without being able to test. My hopes is that I get some actual testing done once the weekend comes around, and if anything crazy happens, I'll be sure to update all of you. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this quick video. There hopefully will be plenty of PTR testing for the upcoming patch and videos accompanied with that, so if you're interested, hit that subscribe button. I also want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon supporters, since without them, well, this wouldn't exist. So thank you guys. Hope you're all staying happy, healthy, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.